Welcome to the Cybersecurity Sales Made Easy podcast, where you get real-world growth and mindset hacks, all designed to accelerate your journey to become a cybersecurity hero for your small business clients. And now, here's your host, Cybersecurity Sherpa, Jennifer Bleam.
Hello. Thanks for joining me, Jennifer Bleam, Cybersecurity Sherpa, and I'm going to continue talking to you about Cybersecurity Awareness Month. If you are here in the United States, it is going to be getting all of the news and all of the buzz starting October 1st all the way through the end of October. So how can you use that power of the press and leverage that to position your IT company as the expert? So here's my idea for today, and that is your newsletter. Now, before you tell me that your October newsletter has already gone to print and it's in the envelope sitting waiting to be mailed on the 1st, that is not a reason for you to ignore Cybersecurity Month. So if you kind of forgot about it and you've already gone to print with your October newsletter, there is no reason that you can't use that same event, Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and talk about it in November. There's no reason for that. Hey, clients, prospects, last month was Cybersecurity Awareness Month and we put together some special stuff for you. We still want to make sure you know about it. So if you didn't get it into October's issue and it's too late to change your print run, go ahead and get it into November's, no big deal. Okay, so how do you use your newsletter to talk about Cybersecurity Awareness Month, whether it's this month or next month? Well, number one, I want you to offer a free resource. So this could be a free report. It could be an infographic. Perhaps you create a list of frequently asked questions that you hear from your clients or that you wish your clients asked you about. And maybe they're inside of your clients' heads and they're just busy and they never remember to talk to you about those. What are those frequently asked questions that you hear or that you wish you heard, and create that as a small business FAQ document for your clients. So where do you get these free reports? Where do you get infographics? One big source is the vendor content. Now, you may not love the existing format of your vendors' free reports. Some vendors have really great free reports. Others are a little more technical, maybe not quite as interesting for the small business owner. So use your better judgment there. But you may be able to take a 15-page free report from a vendor, and that's maybe just a little boring, and pull it apart and repurpose that same content in a single one-page graphically appealing infographic. So that's idea number one, offer some type of free resource. Idea number two, wait for it, write an article. Now, I know some of you are thinking, I'm not a writer, I hate to write, I'm busy, it takes so much time, and we will get to that, but I want to give you some ideas on what you can talk about. So, take a recent hack in the news. I know most of the ones in the news are talking about really big companies. Make sure you study what happened, find out where the vulnerability was, and then translate that down to the small business owner. Because a lot of times the hacks are something, there's a breach and maybe it was because multi-factor authentication wasn't turned on, or there was an incident and it was a problem inside of the supply chain. Well, just because those hacks are in the news and they're talking about a really big company that was breached doesn't mean that you can't present that same information to your audience and be the expert. Explain what it means to them. Listen, I know this happened to ABC company. It's easy to think that maybe you're not vulnerable at all because you're not a big company. You actually are. In fact, the same thing that happened to this big company could happen to you because you're using the same types of tools, techniques, maybe some bad habits. And so translate that for your audience. So that would be one idea for an article. Another idea would be to explain in plain terms one or two, maybe three terms that are bantered about that you and I know like the back of our hands, but that you may need to explain to the client what it is, and more importantly, the implications to the business if it happens. So what is ransomware? What is phishing? Maybe some tips on how to avoid those types of things. But again, make sure you paint the picture for them. If these things happen to their company, what does it mean to them? Because just like your small business clients often don't understand what the server is, and they don't understand the purpose of the server, the power of the server, to them it's just this big box in the server closet. Just like your clients don't understand what a server is often, they don't understand what cybersecurity is. It's this invisible threat that they cannot wrap their heads around. So it's your job to translate these things that are already in the news so that your clients can wrap their heads around them and understand them, and then hopefully get some services from you to keep them safe. So take terms like phishing, ransomware, maybe multi-factor authentication, and write an article around it. Now, I heard you in your head a few minutes ago. You're like, I'm not a writer. You don't need to be a writer. You've got a couple of options here. Hire someone on Fiverr to write a blog post for you. It's probably $50, maybe even less. Second idea is to use your drive time and use that handy voice memo feature that's on your iPhone. And I am sure Android has something similar. So literally you can be at a stoplight, hit record, and then start driving, and it will just record you talking for 5 minutes. Then get it transcribed, maybe rev.com. I think there's a Temi or something like that that is actually a parent company or owned by the same people as Rev. Get your top of mind blog post, if you will, or article post transcribed, and then give it to someone and make it a little prettier, because certainly the way you talk is not necessarily the way you want to write, but that's a very, very simple and easy way to get your thoughts into some original content out on your newsletter. So use your newsletter, whether you have time to make it into the October issue or use these same things for a November issue. Offer a free resource, write an article, and then let me know how it goes. Love to hear some real world stories. And for now, Jennifer Bleam, Cybersecurity Sherpa, signing off.
To learn more about how you can become a cybersecurity hero for your clients, request your hero assessment today. MSPsalesrevolution.com/hero.